Hello there, ConnectWise and IT Nation. This is Sean Lardo, the economy evangelist here at ConnectWise. I am coming to you live from a Starbucks in DC as I get ready to head over to the Ask Me Cup later on today. So excited to have you all here today for another episode for the ConnectWise Invent Certified Integrators. You're going to say, hey, what's a certified integrator and why is it an important part of this? So what they are is it's the vendors in our ecosystem. If you don't know, we have a few tiers of vendors that do partake in our ecosystem. And what's important about this as you're an MSP and you're looking for stack alignment is that these vendors are the ones that actually invest in the ecosystem into ConnectWise and went through all of the hard work and due diligence to become certified through security checks, through talking about the integrations, the APIs, making sure things make sense. And we scrutinize them very, very much so to ensure that we're vetting them out for you all. So the benefit to this all, obviously, like I just mentioned, all things we put them through to make sure they're a legitimate, good company to work with, the product is sound, the integrations work well, but also for you to have easy shopping. So for people that use Amazon, like I use Amazon Prime like crazy, this is the ability for you to go into the marketplace. If you're looking for whatever product line, whatever it is you're looking for to solve for, you click on that, but you can also look under certified integrators and find a shortened list of the people that we've vetted out that have done their due diligence. So excited about that, especially very excited to share that information with you, especially with IT Nation Connect right around the corner. November 8th, I'll be there for the opening day of all this and doing what one of my favorite things to do, which is to pitch it live, finals on stage, 3 p.m. Make sure you're there. If you're not already registered, I don't know what you're waiting for. It's probably it is the best show of the year. But this is not about me or IT Nation Connect or ConnectWise. This is more about these vendors like I was referring to. So without further ado, I want to get them rolling and get them on. So again, without further ado, I want to bring on a very good friend of mine that actually participated in Pitch It this past year, Stephen Yu, CEO and founder of Adaptive Catalog. What's up, Stephen?
Hey, Sean, how's it going?
Doing well. Did the title sound really smooth? Founder and CEO.
I know that was totally one-stop shop there. Everything
right?
You can think of.
It's everything. Like, I mean, I have other names I could give you as well, but this is a family-friendly show.
It's a family-friendly show.
So how you doing, man?
No complaints. Life is good. We even have a semi-sunny day here in Seattle, so really, that's about the most you can ask for this late in the year.
I live in Pittsburgh, buddy. Remember, we have the same weather. So
yeah. Okay.
I think we're second to you in sunny days. Like, or we're one above you and more days of sunshine than you by like 3 days.
Yeah. So, well, I'm going to move to Alaska soon because with all the clouds here, Alaska will be the new summer retreat for me.
Well, they do have a lot of sunny days, more than we get. So
yeah.
Well, we can work on that together because I'm right. Down. I'm so down.
All right, let's set up an office. Let's go.
I can do Starbucks. It doesn't really matter to me. So, all right, let's talk about you and Adaptive Catalog. So, CEO and founder. You have history with ConnectWise, especially.
I try not to mention it too much, but
I think you should. It's because it shows longevity. It shows the ability for you to actually create a product that's viable to the space. Twice now.
Yeah, twice now. All right, well, fantastic. Yeah, I mean, I certainly have history with ConnectWise. I was one of the co-founders of Quozel, which became ConnectWise Cell, now ConnectWise CPQ. It's the leading CPQ for MSPs, as far as I can tell. It still has that title.
Yes, it does, as of now.
As of now. And yeah, so that's kind of my history. I left ConnectWise in 2019 with the Tom the Bravo acquisition, and I said, hey, there's something that I really want to solve for here it's kind of really been a pain point for a lot of MSPs I talked to while at ConnectWise and elsewhere, and that was that it's really hard to find the things that you need to sell to your customers. Like sales has kind of been my main go-to thing for quite a few years now, since 2006, when I started at a VAR actually, and they called themselves an MSP, but they were really a VAR. They sold point of sale systems.
Well, okay, but MSPs, the history, VARs became MSPs. MSPs are becoming VARs again. because they
right,
everything
yeah.
anyway. So
which is really funny. Yeah, and so
uh-huh.
I've been in the space since that time, and really, it's always been a problem trying to find things in stock that we can sell to our customers. And so I was the adaptive catalog really to have a unified service for everything. I'm not just talking like for VARs. It certainly is a lot of hardware, but these days you're selling hardware only to basically help get your services and your consulting and your project hours in. And so, what it's really hard is finding the whole solution. That includes the hardware, that includes all the software you need to run it, whether it's Office 365, whether it's QuickBooks, whatever small businesses need, and then also your own services, the ones that you put into ConnectWise Manage, into I guess it's now called the BMS system. Sorry, ConnectWise Business Management.
Please get it together. Please get
Yeah,
together.
I'm going to totally get all the names right for all the systems. That's really funny because we're integrating into Azio. You're going to talk about that later. And I have to start saying BMS because that's how we pull contact information and stuff.
Correct.
See, I got that plug-in for you.
I really appreciate you getting the plug, but okay, so I want to back up for 1 second on this. You know me, hey, Adam Walter. Look, Adam Walter's giving you a plug.
Thanks, Adam.
You know my affection towards sales and sales enablement. And when I first talked to you, when you signed up for Pitch It last year, we went through the whole thing and you explained it. I went down the sales enablement conversation with you because it is such a struggle. I don't care what CRM or what CPQ or whatever you're in, it's all a struggle. And the question I always have, and people always have for you, and have asked me about you, is, they all say, well, I have different vendors I work with and distributors I work with, different price books. So how do I get the best deal? How do I ensure that the price book is uploaded at the right price point at that time?
Yeah, well, I mean, that's exactly the problem that we are really trying to solve. Is you have a ton of vendors, and sometimes you buy direct from manufacturers, your Cisco's and the Fortinets of the world. You're not always buying from major disties like the Ingram Micros and so on. And so you want to be able to get that all in one place, and that's what we solve. Is it's in our name. We're a cataloging company. We get all of your files from all the small disties. Automatically load them if they're from FTP sites, HTTP, email, you name it. There's all sorts of weird formats they have. We handle all that in the background, loaded overnight. Obviously, we have real-time integrations to all the major disties, your PAX8s, your Ingram Micros, TD SYNNXs. We also show retail pricing from CDW, Amazon, because let's face it, your own customers are going to price shop you. And so you want to make sure that you are putting out a competitive bid for them.
Awesome. Sorry, I was muting.
I silenced you in awe, didn't I?
The awesomeness. Perfect. Good. That was great. I want to kick you off. Oh, I want to acknowledge, what is your booth number at IT Nation?
Yeah, so we're at IT Nation and we're booth 404. So if there's something you can't find, stop by 404.
So when things break down, 404 is
exactly.
the key. So okay, so and also, I believe you're offering some sort of promotion of some sort if anybody works with you and goes through a landing page.
Yeah, absolutely.
All that good stuff.
I so fully believe. Well, one thing I really learned at Quozel is you want evangelists, you want people happy and using the software, because otherwise it's it doesn't help to have people paying who aren't actually getting good value out of it. And so we're offering basically a full implementation for you to get hooked up to connect with CPQ if you're using it, Salesforce, whatever your backend quoting and CRM system is. And we're giving 25% off our monthly rates for 6 months. And so that gives you plenty of time to make sure that everything's working the way you want and that you're getting value out of it.
Awesome. Okay, perfect. You're so good at pitching. It's weird. We'll get that into later. We'll get into that later. We're going to kick you off into the green room. Hang tight.
Yeah, hanging tight. Thank you.
Thanks, Stephen. We'll see you in about 10 minutes, maybe at less. So we're going to move on to the next company, our next vendor, certified integrator. Not to be confused with Seth Rogen, but Seth Wilson. Looks similar. He's the marketing director at TimeZest. And I want to, again, point out that Jerway Todd already cried to me in text message and asked why he wasn't part of this and wanted to try to come in and steal your thunder. And I told him no. just so we're clear, Seth, who your real friends are. Now you know who your real friends are.
Well, it's much appreciated, Sean. It got me out of a very boring quarterly corporate planning session, so I do appreciate that.
You know what? I can imagine they're all like that for you with Sherway. So you're welcome.
No, Jerway is a wonderful individual and signs my paycheck. So
it's very smart marketing director, Mr. Morgan. Great. Okay, so let's talk about everything here. Let's talk about what is TimeZest? What do you do?
So we do appointment scheduling, and I'm sure everyone's familiar with solutions like bookings and Calendly, but we're built from the ground up to address the specific needs of an MSP. We're fully integrated with ConnectWise, so from the ticketing window, you can send a request to schedule some time. When it becomes clear, to the dispatcher or whoever that it's going to require some time to actually sit down with the client to fix the thing, instead of starting that back and forth of, do you have this time available? No. Do you have this time available? No. And before you know it, a couple days can go by. You just send a request out, and they get a link to that has a live update to your calendar. Can see exactly when you have availability, and they can select from any time that you have available instead of just the couple that you offer up. So we're laser focused on trying to solve that problem of scheduling ping pong, going back and forth to the client, wasting both of your time.
Nice. So okay, so does it reside on any technology? Is it an email that comes out of the Outlook, or how does that look operationally?
Yeah, so it's once you from the ticketing window or a variety of other places send that request to a client, we take over from there. So we send out the emails. You can set up reminders, to schedule some time. You can also set it up so that after 3 or 5 days, you can have it automatically close the ticket and send them out a message to say, hey, this is still an issue as we understand it. Schedule some time if you'd like to address it. So pretty much our technology sends the emails.
Okay, awesome, and everything reports back into the PSA itself too, so it's actually tracking the activity.
Yeah.
Correct, and that's really what sets us apart. Is there are plenty of scheduling tools out there, but none communicate with ConnectWise in the way that we do.
Now, what about and by the way, I appreciate that to no end, because the duplication of work is a very difficult challenge. You're asking me to go into 3 different places essentially to update, document things and whatnot, and something always gets lost.
Absolutely.
No matter what. Now, does this apply only to tech support tickets and whatnot, or do you use it for sales as well?
Yeah, I mean, we started out, very focused on solving the problems of, the dispatcher and the service team, but we always enjoyed a strong constituency among, the executive team, sales team members, for a couple of reasons. One, you're a whole lot more likely to actually get the meeting set if you do it this way instead of the back and forth, right? IT might be a problem for an MSP's customer today, and then next week, by the time you actually get to scheduling a meeting, it might not be as important. So it does increase the chances that the meeting actually being scheduled. But really, kind of the magic of our tools, we're the only thing that can look at not only ConnectWise's calendar, but also 365. So say you're a salesperson and you need to get a technical resource on the line with a prospect. You can do that very easily by sending what's called a panel schedule. So you can have your and multiple other team members' calendars reflected in one link, and quickly get that meeting scheduled, which you can't do with other solutions.
I love that. And I'm glad that you actually referenced the 365 piece, because that was a question I was going to ask. Is I work out of Outlook all the time, right? So and I know most salespeople have had to do both jobs in the PSA, back in the PSA, of course, but they're doing all their email communication out of Outlook for 365 in general. So I think that's important to be able to see it, so I can see a full thread on what's transpired from that. Correct?
Absolutely.
Perfect.
And having that all within ConnectWise. If it's not in ConnectWise, it didn't happen, right?
I
really tried to reach out to them, but this make sure it's automatically documented.
Which I love, and then I can always do the per my last email, because I can see it, and that's important. People love that per my last email thing. It's become a meme. People love it so much. They don't at all. They hate it, but I like using it for that reason. So, all right. So now, how long have you been there getting your paycheck signed by Jerway?
It's all the way since June. I was actually with Cloud Radial before this, and I worked with Jerway a lot in getting Cloud Radial and TimeZest integrated. And I saw in TimeZest a solution where it fixed a problem, and it's kind of perfect product market fit. And my background's marketing, so I very much enjoy marketing a product that I can actually explain to somebody, and they can bring it back and use it in their business.
Nice. It's funny. I was expecting some sort of comment in the live chat from Jerway at some point. He must really be in that really intense meeting. So that's good. That's good for us both, I feel like.
Yeah, well, she's doing that corporate planning session that you
said. So we'll be seeing you at IT Nation Connect.
Absolutely, we're at booth 409, like the cleaning product, and yeah, please come see us. We'll have lots of lemons everywhere.
That's odd. Oh, see, you're only 5 booths away from 404, where Stephen will be with 404. Not that there's an error or anything.
You won't be able to find that one, but you'll be able to find ours.
Exactly. All right, we're gonna put you back in the green room. All right. Get on to the next guy and stay there. Up next, the coolest named person on the whole show today. CEO and founder of Lumu, Ricardo Villadiego. I love it. I just want to keep saying that name over and over, dude.
You're very kind. Thank you.
How are things going, man?
All good, all good. It's sunny in Miami, but it's cool also. So
in Miami? What's the weather? What is the weather, Ricardo?
It's 74. So
oh my goodness, that's summer.
Yeah. It's fantastic.
That's summer weather, man. It's I think it's 55 here in DC or 60 right now, overcast. So
yeah,
I got my T-shirt on.
It's better here.
I'd rather 75, but although I'm not mad about this. This is good weather so far. It's not, at least it's not 30.
True. Absolutely. Not for me.
I can't do Miami summers, man. I'll tell you that right now. I reach my flat in Miami and it's summertime. You got the plane. Oh my Lord. It feels like you got hit in the face with just like somebody threw a bucket of hot water on you.
Yeah. The humidity also,
Yeah. Oh, that's exactly. It's rough. Whew. Okay. So let's talk about what do you guys do? Let's talk about your company that you founded.
So Lumu is a cybersecurity company, and we help MSPs of all sizes to detect and respond to the threats that are affecting their environment and their customers, right? And then we help them to orchestrate defense using their current stack that they have. And the beauty part of the journey that we have with the MSPs is that it came to us organically, right? When I started this company back in 2019, we launched the company at RSA Security, aiming to the enterprise market, but we also came with a freemium offer. Right, and a lot of MSPs are using the freemium offer, and there was like a spike of 300 MSPs signing up to the freemium offer that we have, and they start, sharing comments about how cool the tool was, but also what were the limitations of the tool. Right, I got intrigued about that, and I started interviewing some of the MSPs that gave me the opportunity to extract some information from them. And that's also one of the things that I love about this market is that the MSPs is a community that is eager to help the vendors to build a right product, a product that fulfill the needs that they have. And they start providing a lot of feedback about how we could evolve the technology into something that was going to provide them with way more value. And some months later, Lumu for MSP was born, who is catering to that market.
Gotcha. Okay, so I have a few questions from that. Let's unpack this real quick. First off, how many are still on the freemium version, or does that not exist?
The premium version still exists. It exists more on the business side, but we have one of the things that we're launching at IT Connect is the equivalent to that version for the MSP market. My marketing team is probably gonna not gonna be happy about that, but we're gonna launch it at the IT Connect. There's a big surprise for the MSP market.
I love that. No, I think your marketing team was very happy you did this now because it sets the stage. Now they have to fulfill, right? So now back to other questions from this. So from is there a certain type of MSP you work with size-wise, or?
That's a good question. We have MSPs that have about 250 endpoints under management, but we also have MSPs that have over 40,000 MSPs under management. So it's a tool that grows up well in terms of pricing, scalability, and so on and so forth, but also grows down well in terms of pricing and the features that the emerging MSPs require to be effective at tackling this problem.
Okay, so am I hearing that it's a consumption model?
It is a consumption model. Yes,
okay.
MSPs start with 50 endpoints, and then they add endpoints as they see fit for their business. One of the things that I also learned through that process is that I think for the most part, the MSP market has been served for enterprise vendors in cybersecurity, where the MSP market is kind of an afterthought, right? So they try to adapt their enterprise business models to the MSP market, and that doesn't work well for many reasons, but primarily because that's not the business model of the MSP. The MSP charge their customer base on monthly basis. So we line up our business model to ensure that we charge them on monthly basis as well.
Gotcha. Okay. And then, the question, two more questions, and then we're going to bring everybody back on. So you mentioned, the way I'm hearing is there's a migration path from freemium to actually using it that you've done, which I'm assuming will be similar for the MSPs or some along those lines. So how is it that you do work with the MSPs then in that case?
So we help them to deploy the tool to all the customer under management, right? The freemium version for the MSP start with 50 endpoints under management, and they're going to have the ability to detect the threats across all those 50 endpoints, but also to respond to those threats automatically along those endpoints. And then they can also deploy that across 3 tenants, so 3 customers that they have. If they need to go to the tenant number 4, then they need to upgrade to the premium version. If they need to deploy more than 50 endpoints, they need to buy additional endpoints, and that's the conversion. Those are the conversion mechanisms that we have. But we foster that the MSPs start building their SecOps practice using our tool, and that's why the freemium version for the MSPs, or MSP Lite, as we're gonna call it. I already say a little bit more than I should here.
You're doing great. No, okay. So we can look for the MSP Lite free version by the time IT Nation Connect rolls around, with an integration into ASIO.
There is also something. So IT Nation is packed with a lot of news from Lumu, right? We are launching MSP Lite. We are launching also the self-service conversion mechanism for the MSP, so they have full control over their subscriptions. They put the credit card, and they can start adding more tenants and more endpoints as they see fit for their businesses. But we're also launching the internet to Asia. There's a roadmap of integration, Sean, from Lumu and ConnectWise that is packed with a lot of activity. So right now we have the certified integration with ConnectWise PSA because the MSP market teach us that they don't want to use the management portal of the vendor. They want their analysts day in and day out using the tool where they can control their entire business, which in most of the cases is the PSA. So that was the first integration that we built, Lumo and ConnectWise PSA. And now we are building the integration with ConnectWise Asia that is going to help all those MSPs that are migrating to the cloud, the native cloud technology from ConnectWise.
Got it. And one more thing, and then we'll bring everybody back on. So you said working within PSA, which is you're absolutely correct. But you guys also do reporting for all this. So they can the analytics and the reporting that comes from you all then in this regards?
It does, yeah. When we talk about reportings, I like to handle two different type of reports that we have. Right, we help the MSP to generate the reports, kind of in a similar fashion to the hero reports that you guys have. We help them to build the hero reports that they need to convey the value that they are providing to the customers that they are serving. Right, why they are paying that amount of money for cybersecurity, how many attacks we have detected, how many of them we have stopped, and so on and so forth. But I also encourage the MSP community to go and look on Lumu.io, the different third-party validation that Lumu has. We are leaders in the Forrester network analysis and visibility space. We're also the leader of the network detection and response space by GigaOM. So those are the third-party validation that we have that help them to identify who's the leader of the network detection space, but also our native ability to build reports so that they can convey the value to their customers.
Awesome. This is perfect segue into, let's bring everybody back on because I have all these thoughts about all three of you collectively. Welcome back, Stephen.
Thanks.
And Seth, I forgot to mention, I loved you in Pineapple Express. I just want to make sure you get that out of the way right now. Thank you for that. Thank you for that. Okay, so after listening to all three of you talk, here's the thing that triggered me really was all your stuff leads back to QBRs, by the way, in a one way, shape, or form, right? In one way, shape, or form, you're affecting people's ability to run QBRs as well, right? So Adam, Walter, that's a nice shout out for you. Humanize it. But it's all about sales enablement and technology enablement across the board. And obviously TimeZest, you guys you help to execute it ultimately with the follow-ups, right? Scheduling appointments. Where with Lumu, you're literally providing the reporting, and Stephen, well, you're Stephen, and, so it's really about you guys having the ability to do enablement and be able to present and provide something that, Ricardo, you said, providing value. One of the hardest struggles for MSPs post the original sale is maintaining the value of their services to their clients, right? You hear it all the time. They have a hard time justifying why they're still paying them for all the stuff. So this is what I thought as you guys were talking across the board. So you guys were all integrated. You're all certified integrators in this. You're all part of our ecosystem. Have you guys all ever met each other before today?
No, this is first time for me. I do know Jerway because he gets around, but
Actually, we met Steven at
oh my gosh,
TaxAid Beyond.
Wow,
the 6'7" guy. But I understand it was 11 o'clock at night, and what was it?
Oh, and you were you there with Cloud? Huh. Okay,
no,
yeah.
No, it was me and Jerway had snuck in. We weren't attending.
Oh, right. Okay, yes.
But Nelly was playing
into
a lot
TaxAid's conference because you weren't actually part of it. Got it. No, yeah. Now I remember.
I got some badges and turned them backwards, and that worked wonderfully.
I love that you all met over Nelly. Ricardo, what do you think about that? We weren't there for Nelly, but they were.
I think, on QBRs and providing value, one of the things, Sean, that the vendors have to do more for the MSP market, right? Is to put on the MSP shoes, right? And how we most often than not, the vendor wants to see their report in front of the customer, but that's not what the MSP need. The MSP need the data that enables them to build the report that they need to put it together with all the other data that they're also getting and collecting from the customer to convey the value that we have. So that's kind of the route that we have on the tools that we provide for the MSP to provide value to the customer. But then also, the work of the vendor is to convey the value that we are providing to the MSP. And we have a report that helps them to identify how many hours we're saving from MSP analysts on detecting and responding automatically to attacks that their customer base are facing. So that helps them validate why they, as an MSP, are paying for that tool, while at the same time we're giving them the data that they need to convey the value that they're providing to the customer base.
So you're effectively giving them time back, which everybody else is doing here too.
One thing I will add on the topic of QBRs is that a large part of what MSPs can do to really convey value is not just like selling them stuff or selling them services, but to say, look, I am managing all of your assets. I am managing all of your infrastructure, and I'm managing everything that you need to run your business so that you don't have to worry about it. You can go back to doing, well, playing golf, whatever it is you're doing. And so that's a key part. And I see why you did a call out to Adam for that. That's a really key part, is making sure that you get all of those things shown to the end customer. And for what we do, not just to show that what you're managing, but also say, hey, look, these things are coming up for renewal. Here's the replacement parts, and here's where you can what we can sell them to you for. Or, hey, this is really old. We can get third-party parts for it to keep it going, third-party warranties, or we can just replace it completely, and here's a new configuration that works even better. And that's definitely an area that I think a lot of MSPs, one, struggle with, but two, can really show why they are truly valuable to their customers by being able to say, these are the things we're doing for you, and we're proactively making sure that your network, your infrastructure is good going forward.
Absolutely. That's exactly the point. When it comes down to it, like I said, Lumu is providing the ability to have analytics to support what you're saying to somebody, right? The challenge on the other side that both you and what Seth and we're providing is the fact of expedited service and actually maintaining service at optimal level, because that's always a struggle point too. Again, one of the biggest problems, it's almost like a contractor, right? I've been trying to have a deck built in my backyard for like 6 months. The guy doesn't call me back. Why? Because he's horribly at staying organized, right? Or can't find price books, or can't figure out what distributor to work with, or whatever excuse he can come up with. But he's like, I'm not even joking. It's been 6 months.
Are you using the same contractor I am? We're trying to build a set of steps in the backyard. It's been 3 months. No ground has been laid yet. This is like super slow.
No, the trick is have your lawyer come do it. It's a lot cheaper. And a lot
Hi, Dad.
How does that happen?
Yeah, it just is. There's just that's how it is, these days.
So again, back to you guys are enabling the partners to be efficient and effective with information.
I'd say that we have a direct role in QBRs, even though we just do appointment scheduling. But the trick is actually doing them quarterly, actually getting the client on the horn and making sure they're not OBRs, like occasional business reviews. My point exactly. If you keep you're establishing a process and automating it, that I have to do things I'm doing. Yeah. Absolutely. And if you make it part of a process and you give it, a clear, hey, here's a link to get going to the next thing, versus just a salesperson reaching out and say, hey, don't you want to listen to me for an hour while I try to sell you some stuff? It makes it look a little bit more like a business process.
Agreed. I have to unmute myself. And yes, Gary, I see your comment. I'm in a very bad place. I'm traveling on the road. I'm at Starbucks, and this is the best place I can get Wi-Fi. So I took what I could get. So I apologize for the background noise. And these lovely ladies next to me are ordering very loud and talking to each other. So I respect my elders and I'm not going to say anything. So again, so we're going to see all you guys at IT Nation Connect. I do want to get into the conversation of why you guys all decided to integrate into Invent into our program. Why did you guys decide to invest? I'd like, Steven, I'll start with you because you're the OG here.
Sure, absolutely. Because I don't know any better. I'm like, hey, ConnectWise has been really good to me. I should come back to this community. No, I love the ConnectWise community.
Say that, yeah. Say that again. Say how good are we to you, Steven? How
you
good
guys
are we to
are
vendors and people?
Amazing. The superlatives cannot roll off my tongue. Okay, now that I've shoved my head far enough up there. So one of the key parts of our value prop is that we try to we try to be very agnostic, right? And so we try to help MSPs find anything that they're looking for, source it, and we even help them order it. And as a result of that, we don't want to be a specialist in everything, right? Like we are a search engine, we are a tool, we're a procurement engine. We are not CRM. We don't manage tickets, ticketing, all these other things. We don't even really do much on the actual quoting side, right? We're all about getting you the right configuration, ordering it, getting it to the right place. So kind of the configuration pricing of the whole CPQ idea. And so what that means is that we have to be really well integrated to all of the CPQ quoting tools out there, to all of the CRMs, to all of the PSA systems out there in order to really shine. Because that's by working together with this stack of tools, we're able to say, hey, we're going to take this configuration pricing part and make it super simple, one screen to do it all. And then we'll push it to wherever you need it to go, whether it's directly to your CPQ tool, whether it's an opportunity inside your customer relationship management or inside your PSA, whether it's to a service ticket so that you can dispatch it, whether it's to your QBR portal through Humanize or wherever you want to send it. See another plug there. That's what we do. And so that's why we're super happy to integrate with ConnectWise CPQ, with ConnectWise Manage, and we're working through the whole ASIO ecosystem as well. So when all these names change and we're now working with ConnectWise business management systems, we still go there to pull customer information, to push opportunities back, all the things that you would expect so that you can use the tools of your choice while coming to us for your configuration, search, pricing needs.
Wow, so he gave a lot. Ricardo, I'm going to go with you next. And Steven upstages everybody, just so you know, so don't worry. If you just want to say, like, because we like you guys, a really good situation, that'd be perfectly suitable.
In our case, Sean, I think it was listening to the MSP market, right? The MSP market kind of give us the guidance on you guys need to be integrated with ConnectWise. You guys need to be integrated with these EDRs, these firewalls, to be able to fulfill your core need of detect and response, of network detection and response, but also to fulfill the need of the MSP to avoid portal fatigue of going into different portals to see what's happening. So that's what triggered the integration.
Which makes sense. And Seth, you're new to TimeZest. You're not new to our space. You're fully aware of that. And really, Jerry's been with ConnectWise forever. I mean, he worked for us. So maybe that's why he did it. We'll find out. Is that why?
Well, no, yeah, I'd say for us it is. It's just very much part of our DNA. If it isn't, a majority of our staff and leadership team either come from ConnectWise or, like me, come from an MSP that used ConnectWise. It's almost all of us, and but it's been integral to our success. That's what makes us different from a scheduling solution, is the presence within ConnectWise, within that ticketing window, and the guidance and support that I've gotten even since joining in June from the Invent team has been huge.
Perfect. And to the whole ASIO thing, you guys are all starting to actively work towards being involved in ASIO, which is it's not ASIO, by the way, it's ASIO, just so you know.
ASIO.
I've already been yelled at many times. I kept on saying this. I was like, I don't know. I think of the Asiago, so I immediately go to, which is wrong, right? So it's ASIO. That's right, Jess. I did my due diligence. ASIO. But you guys are all working towards it, and I think it's important. I don't want to be assumptive. As to why you guys think it's important to do so. And I will not start with Stephen on this question because, again, he'll steal everybody's thunder. I'll just stick with Seth to start with. Why is ASIO so important to being involved?
Yeah, I mean, so we created an API in the past couple of months, to kind of to respond to this very thing. But for us, being president there, we're TimeZest, right? We're a tasty ingredient in the recipe that makes a successful MSP or a PSA experience, and we're if it's ConnectWise, we're always going to try to be as present as possible.
Perfect. And Ricardo, back to you. Even though you kind of already touched it a little bit, but
yeah, I give you a little bit more context. I think right the MSPs, the established MSPs, right? They have their I don't want to say legacy, but the current platform of ConnectWise, the PSA and or BMS, right? And those are the integrations that we have right now. But the emerging MSPs that we see, all those MSPs are starting with ASIO, right? And if we want to make sure that we cover both, and at Lumu, we pride ourselves that we help MSPs of all sizes, then we need to be integrated with ASIO as well. That's why we're also prioritizing those integrations.
And that makes sense. Stephen, you think you can keep that within that same realm of response, or
short and sweet? All right.
Should we take a nap and wait for you to finish?
Short and sweet. ASIO unifies everything ConnectWise, right? And so that makes perfect sense for us because we want to be the catalog that drives ASIO. Full stop.
That makes absolute sense. I think, my only other question for you, Stephen, on that is, because you're doing a catalog, for people that are trying to track services and man hours, project time work, and all that stuff, is that all incorporated in this as well?
Yeah, absolutely. So we currently integrate everything from your PSA manage at the moment, as well as all of the ConnectWise marketplace things that you sell too, which is a pain point for some MSPs who sell out of there. And so when we're ready and roll out ASIO as well, you're going to be able to pull your service hours, your diamond, platinum, gold plans, and everything else in one place.
Which makes absolute sense. All right, so we're gonna be rounding this off now. Next few, we got about 5 minutes to get through this. So what I want is any last words from you guys and suggestions for anybody, any quick tips or anything. It's all fair game. Ricardo, we'll start with you.
So if you want to try it out, Lumu, go to lumu.io. I think probably Jess is flashing the URL for the audience. Lumu.io plus MSP, MSSPs, and you can start your trial of the technology from that.
Awesome. Seth, what about you, man?
Just give us a try. I mean, we got a free version. It takes like an hour to implement, try it out. You'll like it.
I feel like the next response would be like, you're saying there's a chance.
just go try it. It's come on. It's got, if you're not using a scheduling automation tool at this point, we're a little bit behind here. So, go give it a try. Promise you.
Ricardo, maybe you should be working with marketing director Seth, because he's pretty simple about things. Like,
just try it out.
Just try it out, like now.
I forgot. 514 is my booth. 514 is Lumu's booth.
Look, Ricardo's come back with his booth. 514. 514.
We're all in shouting distance of each other. This will be great. This will be good.
I'm going to throw paper airplanes.
I mean, they won't work. There will be an error with every one of them. So, any last words of wisdom, Stephen?
Okay, I'll keep this short. 404 right now. So in general, the words of wisdom are just, again, as an MSP, you've chosen ConnectWise for a reason. It's to make sure that you are running your business efficiently, that you're able to take as much advantage of automation as you can. And so when you come to IT Nation, visit the vendors, because they've spent a lot of time making sure that their integrations are really good and that they integrate in so that they add onto the ConnectWise stack to basically to supplement a lot of the areas that ConnectWise just chooses not to work as well in, whether that's scheduling, whether that's in security or product search. And so that's my advice. A lot of the value that you get is from the show, is from the sessions, but it's also from seeing what the ecosystem can provide.
Very well put, Stephen. And it wasn't even that long-winded. You did really well. I'm proud of you. So speaking of that, I believe registration is still open for IT Nation Connect. It starts November 8th in Orlando. And for all of us people in the Northeast, Midwest, Orlando in November is fantastic. Just want to remind everybody, it's really good.
It's like a 7-hour flight and muggy and hot, but otherwise it's good.
Okay, again, Northeast, Midwest, not West Coast, Northwest Coast. We're not talking about you guys. You're a whole different group of people over there. I'm not counting you all. But we are currently offering for ITN Social 50, gets $50 off on registration. If you haven't registered, I don't know why. Best show of the freaking year. By the way, this is me speaking from what was once an outside vendor sponsoring these events. And you said it really well, Stephen, by the fact of breakout sessions are great. Go learn from others. Go learn from your peers. But also, when you're trying to figure out products, vendors, it's the best place to corner them, because you guys all want to talk to all the partners. That's like your job. You're there for that. And nothing's worse than when they walk up and say, "I just want your swag. I'll see you later." It's the worst thing. You're trying to figure out what the hell you want to buy and add to your stack. That's the best opportunity. Plus, most vendors buy the MSP drinks. Just putting them out there now. So you must talk to them, get a free drink too, or 10. You're welcome, Stephen. I know you love to spend money there.
You can definitely find me at the bars. I've been known to stay up pretty late. So.
That is the truth. You do. So I'm looking forward to seeing all you guys. We have, thank you, Jess. Full list of sessions are on right there on the bottom of the screen. You can click on that link and see all the sessions also in the chat. So be sure to check it out. I have a breakout session, so I'll be chilling, doing my thing. But gentlemen, thank you so much for being on. Appreciate the time. Great job. For all those that watched, thank you for tuning in. Look forward to seeing you guys at IT Nation Connect and seeing everybody else there too. For now, we're out of here.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you.
Pleasure.